everybody. Namaste and welcome to this new podcast. Today, we would be continuing the previous video that I made, which was basically a trailer. And I made the video which was only 10 minutes long when I was traveling in a bus. I got on the bus, I got on the cab, and I reflected upon what happened with me in the bus. It was basically a girl sitting beside me in the bus on the seat beside me, and she was scrolling the reels using the mobile phones. So, what you want whenever you are traveling in any sort of any mode of transportation, that you have your own personal space, freedom, right, related to the space and related to the ambience, noise level, right? So often what we see is that there are songs being played in the buses if they are like running in the rural areas, movies being played, which is basically a long form content, which is not a short form content. And since like these are the vintage songs, so we often enjoy them, right? That too infringes on the personal freedom, personal right, but yeah, it is okay. So what was happening with me is that that girl was just scrolling the reels on the Instagram. The reels were changing very frequently, and it was just freaking me out. It was very irritating and frustrating because I am doing my own work. I cannot focus upon that, whatever I am doing. Okay, that is it. And now let us agree that I also listen to your content that you are playing. Suppose if it is a song that you are playing, then I'll also close my eyes and just lay down listening to the song that you are playing. But you aren't playing the song, you are playing the reel, which is just 15 seconds long. And what happens is that once I set my mood to that particular song, I get lost into it, I start enjoying it, and I get into a different, a distinct mood, right? What happens is that barely after 20 minutes, that song is gone. She has changed the reel, she has scrolled up, and now the new reel comes up. So now this is very irritating for the person around you. This is first thing, and second thing is that what is happening to us, the society, the people across the age groups, caste, class, region, profession, qualification levels, what is happening to us that we are addicted to this real culture, that real culture that is developing there, that has developed, that is a big addiction that we do not talk about. So what is basically happening to us is a matter of investigation. And I personally, having used Instagram, let me tell you this one thing, that this whole podcast is for those who have used Instagram at some point of their life. And this is going to be very significant and helpful for those who are using the Instagram, who are addicted to it, and who know that they are addicted to it. It is bad, it is eating on their time, energy, and whatnot, of course the money as well in some form or the other, but they cannot get rid of that. So this podcast is going to be very important for you all. I myself found myself addicted to Instagram to some extent, that I personally thought that let us come out in the public and talk about it. I sort of did the autoethnographic study. I studied, analyzed my own behavior, with the self reflexivity. And this is not a problem that I myself suffered from to some extent, but each and every one of us are doing. Some agree, others do not. But seldom do people, seldom can people help themselves, help to come out of it, get over it. Seldom. So thus this becomes a not only societal issue but also a national issue. I would be linking like various dimensions, national, societal, and whatnot, with this particular phenomenon, with this particular real culture that is developing there, thanks to the platforms like Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube Shorts, and whatnot. So yeah, that is it. The motive of this entire podcast is gonna be about analyzing the side effects of the Instagram, and if there are some pros, that too we would be discussing, and we would be challenging its pervasiveness, its existence. uh, just a second. Yeah. So let us know that how is it different from the other social media platforms. Let us talk about the Instagram only. Instagram basically gives us the short form content. And what is the difference between the short form content and the long form content? So see, if you are trying to get yourself out of this shitty hole, of this hell, and you'll have to devote some time to some fruitful, meaningful, useful content, long form content such as podcast. This might serve you as a therapy, as a counseling session, wherein you can actually reflect and introspect upon what wrong have you been doing, what problem are you suffering from, and then after diagnosing it and knowing its nature, its consequences and impacts, you can actually work upon that and can get rid of it. So thus this video can be very helpful for you. Let me tell you that I'm not a fan of short form content. A lot of my friends suggest that, Garvit, why don't you make short reels in order to convey your message? See, that would be like defeating the very purpose. I mean, I am making the video on, I am against the reels and the reel culture that has come up. And if I actually give my message through the reels only, then that would be very hypocritical of me, wouldn't we? It would be, right? So, and what I feel is that if there is something that is supposed to stay with you, if there is something that is supposed to stay with you, if you are gonna take some key takeaways from something, from some content, from some text, from some mode of communication, then it should be in the long form, you know, should be in the long form. So thus, like, what I feel is that just think upon it for a second, that how much precious time of yours has been lost scrolling up and down the reels in the Instagram and some other platforms. How much precious time you have lost there. If you have lost so much of precious time there and got nothing out of it, can you not listen to this 1 hour of talk which can actually help you overcoming that addiction? Is what basically I am saying. I could have presented you with the facts, theories, and with the ways to get out of it in a single 1 minute video as well. But again, the problem with the short form content is that it doesn't stay with you, man. It doesn't stay with you. It doesn't stay with you. Wisdom doesn't come from just reading the wisdom, it comes from pravachan. I mean, there is this tradition in India of pravachan, you know, satsang, wherein there are long discourses. If you listen to that long discourses, then you get the essence, out of that, which is not very long. But in order to get that essence, understand that essence, implement that wisdom in your life, you will have to listen to that whole story, that 1 or 2 hour long session. Otherwise, you just cannot understand the essence, the wisdom, the moral of the story. You cannot. And thus, like, why this long form content that I'm making, the podcast, becomes very important in order to help you get rid of this short form content addiction. Okay. So I'm slightly feeling, not slightly, like, I'm feeling unwell, to be honest. And I thought that what to do. I tried a couple of things, and they didn't work. And I thought that let us talk about this thing which was there in my mind for quite some time. And I thought that let us finally talk about it. So I have jotted some points because a lot of my friends who watched my previous videos, they told me that Gurpreet, your videos, they do not have a structure. They are not very well curated. The message that you are giving is good, but you should try to structure them, like the other creators do. So I'm not a techie. I don't have my team. I just casually, randomly, and candidly make the videos. So I cannot actually simultaneously show you the things on my background or on the side of the video on one side of the screen, and you can just only see me here. So that is something that you will have to bear with. But as I've already told you, I am addressing to the people who are addicted to Instagram, who use Instagram and might get addicted in the future. The video is not for those who haven't used it or who are not to use it, right? So I'll be putting some points here over here, starting with the first point. This is an addiction. What is addiction? Something that we do repeatedly, compulsively, something that we don't have the control over, something which we take to extreme, right? And something which is not good is also a sort of addiction. I don't know, like if I put my mic here, it should work well. Yeah, is also a sort of addiction. For example, the basic and the common addictions that we know of are alcohol, right, and are smoking, weed, and porn addiction is another thing. So these are a couple of things which are like fundamentally not good for our health, for the society, for moral reasons and all, especially if done in excess, especially if done in access. So it becomes the addiction, and we are unable to get over it easily. It is what the definition of addiction. So now the perception of the society is still now that when we talk about the addictions, then it is only about the alcohol, smoking and all. But my question to you is that, do you not feel that the real culture, the doom scrolling that we do after waking up early in the morning, before sleeping for hours, during the work when we are on our table, when if you are a businessman, then they're dealing with the customers. If you are like a video recently surfaced on the internet wherein the doctor was there immersed into the phone watching the reels when a mother came to him with the daughter who subsequently died. So so this has actually invaded, pervaded, penetrated our lives and have become an addiction worse than the conventional addictions that we know of. Is it not so? We'll have to ask ourselves. So first thing is that my first actually point that I'm putting here is that know this thing. If you do not know, if you normalize it, that it is harmless and it is okay, it is cool, then you will never ever be able to get over it. Firstly, firstly, keep this thing in your mind that this is an addiction. An addiction. For that to understand, just look into your settings and then go to the Instagram usage if your phone allows for that feature. Then you'll find that you're using excessively longer time on this particular application. Doing what? Doing rubbish. So this is first thing, that yeah, this is an addiction, right? Another aspect is that whenever somebody is addicted to something, for example, somebody is a chain smoker and he smokes like twice, thrice, four times a day, and on the wrapper of the smoking itself is a big ad, showing that it can cause cancer. I guess 80 or 90% of the wrapper is covered with the ad, which is basically warning you not to go for that, but you still go for that. So this is what the addiction is. Similarly, quite similarly, the people using the Instagram, addicted to the Instagram, they know that it is not good, because as I told you in my previous video, whenever you have wasted, not spent, 30 minutes or so or even more on Instagram, you're not left with the satisfaction, you are left with utter guilt, regret, dissatisfaction, and disappointment with yourself because you know that you haven't got anything out of it. You haven't got anything out of it. So, yeah, this is one thing. Second thing is that what I want to tell you is that this addiction, for example, if we are talking about the alcohol and weed or porn, these are like three major addictions: alcohol, drugs, weed, and porn. These are four major addictions, and they actually impact a particular age group, a particular section of the society, and what we call them, like we call them as deviants. Like porn affects mostly the children when they are in their adolescent stages, and then it stops. When it comes to the drugs and all, then they impact the antisocial elements of the society, youth mainly, right? Misguided youth. And when it comes to the smoking and alcohol, then they also affect the people. Like alcohol, we all consume, most of the people do consume, but the addicts, they are like the people who come from the slums doing the menial jobs and all. We find the people there on the roadsides and all, earning very less, but is still wasting the money in the alcohol and whatnot, spoiling their life and their family. So what I'm basically saying is that these conventional forms of addictions, they impact a particular section of the society, not all. But the thing which is very fascinating about the Instagram addiction is that it is impacting all the segments, all the groups of the society, be them the young people, the kids. They will not eat the food until unless there comes the YouTube shorts in front of them. I mean, whenever I say Instagram reels, then do not think that I am restricting myself to Instagram reels. It also encompasses the YouTube shorts. If you use Snapchat, also that, and there are a couple of other platforms as well. So this is about the kids, right? Students are into it, young people are into it. So much so nowadays, even the elderlies are into it. You can observe your parents using the, if not the Instagram, then the YouTube Shorts. If not the YouTube Shorts, then the WhatsApp statuses. They are scrolling the statuses, right? So this is impacting the all the age groups. This is the second observation that I have had. Third thing is that if you want to verify that how precarious, dangerous is the situation, if you can face the truth, specifically the people who use the Instagram or the YouTube Shorts, then just go to the settings in your phones and just check the time that you have wasted there. It would show you like which application has been used for what period of time, for how much of time. It will tell you about that. This is the second thing. Or you can look around yourself. If you are traveling, if you are at your home, mothers and the parents. I think that what we'll have to do is to shift somewhere else because of the noise coming from the outside. Relatively, it is a peaceful area, but at times it happens that there come the vendors, hawkers, the vegetable sellers. Sorry for the interruption caused. So, focus on what I'm saying. I'm keeping my mouth closer to the mic and try to avoid the unnecessary, undesirable noises or sound coming from the background. Okay. So, yeah, what I was basically saying in the third point is that you can look around yourself. You'll get to know that the parents are, they are concerned about their children, right? Using the Instagram and whatnot. You meet, when if you meet your friends these days, if you closely observe it, then they are more into their phones than with you yourself. So this is how it has impacted the socialization, the interaction in the society, right? We are more into the reels than into the real world, right? So this reel has taken over the reality. So this is the third thing. Fourth thing is that there are certain terms, vocabulary that have come up defining the problem, this addiction that we are facing, that we should be aware of if you are to help yourself get over this problem, right? So the first term that I am talking about is brain rot, right? So what it is leading to, the reel culture, when you are consuming the reel incessantly, continuously scrolling there, and the theme, the content changes, so does your mood, so does your mental state, so does your the functioning of the brain. Like brain will have to adapt to itself, you know every 15 to 30 minutes. It cannot be in a particular state for a fairly long period of time, because of the change in the content, the emotions. Some reels are comedy, happy, then you see something intellectual, then something very cringe and rubbish. You are retaining nothing out of that. You are retaining nothing out of that, but you are so very engrossed in that that you cannot get yourself over that. Is also something very interesting to note. So what I'm basically saying is that it is leading to brain rot. Now this is a term that has been declared as one of the most important term by what, I think Oxford or what. So it is leading to the brain rot. What is healthy for a brain is to read a book, to put your mind to something constructive, something useful, to your business, to your work that has been assigned to your books if you are a student, is what will help your brain to develop, to gain the skills to read the books or listen to the podcasts, even documentaries, which are basically the long form content, for which you'll have to wait and have a good degree of patience, perseverance, and yeah, basically the patience, which will not give you the instant gratification as the short form content does. Short form content does the gives you the instant gratification. It releases the dopamine, and what is basically happening is that you are burning the dopamine, you are not using the dopamine. I mean, if you are swimming, if you are running, or if you are into something else, then there also gets released the dopamine, but it is a good use of dopamine. I mean, you do using it to something constructive. You're watching, for that matter, even a comedy movie. But now what is happening is that you are burning your dopamine. Think like dopamine is like limited in your body. So what would happen is that the people who have burned all of their dopamine into the Instagram or the screen, the reels, they will be left with no interest in the other real world things, real activities, real recreational, adventurous activities. If their friends are calling them, come, let's go on the trip, let's go to the park, let's go around, let's walk, let's run, let's do something good, play sports and all. No, you will deny that. No, I'm not interested. And what you're doing is laying down on your bed and scrolling the reels. Is what is happening. You must have noticed with yourself or the friends around. It has become an OCD. Like, this is another term that you should be knowing about: obsessive compulsive disorder. The obsession, the compulsion that you'll have to watch it, you keep on watching it, and it has become a disorder. Now we'll have to take it as a disorder, as a disease, if not as a disease, at least as a disorder, because this is a sort of obsession which is of no good. Like Michael Phelps, if I'm pronouncing his name right, who is a great swimmer, he said that I swim and only swim. I swim like 16 hours a day, or it might be an exaggeration, but at least 12 hours a day. If it is Milkha Singh, then he runs. If he is Usain Bolt, he runs and runs and runs only. Virat Kohli plays and plays only. So he's got an obsession with that. If there is Amish Tripathi, he's got an obsession with writing the books, so he's writing the books. If somebody has got the obsession with reading the books, like Shashi Tharoor in his earlier days was obsessed with reading the books, right? He said that I would finish a book. Like he used to go to the book halls, the book, sorry, the sales, right? Bookshops with the parents. And in his car, like while returning, he would finish a book or two before he has reached his home. So he's returning from the shop, he is laying there in the back seat, and usually he would finish a book before they reach the home. Right, thus we see him there on a on such a high pedestal in today's world. Not a fan of his, not praising for his accent and whatnot, but his because of the intellect that he has. So this is what it is happening. It is not a good obsession. If you have obsession with something good means something constructive, something productive. For example, there are students who are preparing who are preparing for NEET, who are preparing for JE, and they are obsessed with the books, um, with the videos, lectures. It is a good obsession. If they are giving 8 hours, 10 hours to that, it is a good obsession, right? And the difference is that they are into this one particular thing. If they are reading the books, they are reading the books only. The books, I mean, they have a particular content. Like for 8 hours only, if they are reading the physics, it is the physics that they are reading, that they are consuming. If the Michael Phelps is like swimming, he is swimming only. Now, the differentiating factor is that the nature of the content on Instagram is such that it doesn't show you uh, content of one sort, of a particular type of content. It bombards you with multiple type of content which is varying in nature. You getting my point? This is first thing, and second thing is that it is an obsession which is of no good, because you aren't going to retain something. It is not going to give you the fame. Oh my god, you have like watched 100 reels, 1000 reels, and a day you would be awarded with the person who has watched the maximum number of reels. No, this is not gonna happen. You're not gonna make the money out of that. For example, a guy obsessed with the JE preparation or with the tournaments, cricket and all, will get the fame. You will not get the fame over here on Instagram. You'll get the money, because he might make it his passion profession, like Virat Kohli has done. So here you cannot make it your profession of out of this obsession, Instagram reel obsession, because nobody is gonna give you a job. Oh my God, you watch reels for like 2-3 hours in a row, and that is wonderful. So Instagram is not gonna give you the money, right? So this is another thing, another differentiating aspect between the various type of obsessions and various type of addictions, right? And there is another thing that you should be knowing about, another concept, which is doom scrolling. So doom scrolling is basically just relive that moment, relive that moment when you are scrolling the reels. Suppose you are on the bed, you are about to sleep, or you are on the desk in your office, or this is something very strange that people in the toilets, they are taking like wasting like spending like hours in the toilets, in the companies, multinational companies, and nobody can tell them anything because they are in the toilets. So they might have some valid reason that maybe their stomach is upset or what. So what's happening is that the employees go to the toilet and they sit there on the shit pot and take their phone out and keep on watching the reels. They are done with their, what do we call, excretion. They are done with the urination or whatever, but they are simply wasting their time scrolling the reels there. And this is what is like doom scrolling. You are doomed. Doom means ki if you are like dead, or if everything is lost, destroyed, devastated. So it is what basically means the doomsday. We say no to the doomsday when everything would be lost or something of that sort. So here is where the word finds its origin, right? So this is what the doom is scrolling. It would take you to nowhere, but to a point where you will be left with utter guilt, dissatisfaction, disappointment, right? And interesting thing is that the next day after waking up, you will do the same thing. You will repeat the same thing. What it is basically leading to the like these entire phenomena that is happening there, which can be actually described by the words such as uh, obsessive compulsive disorder, doom scrolling, right? The dopamine burning, brain rot. What it is leading to, in very simple words, I am telling you, in very simple words, if like these words were so heavy for you to digest, in very simple words, it is a loss of time. Time is very valuable. We have actually forgotten each and everything that we read in our school, the value education that we got, the values. Right? Time is money. We all know that it is very precious. We are wasting the time. We are wasting the time. Like there are other methods of wasting the time as well. Like when we were in the childhood, we would go to the playground, and our parents would be like, don't play for so long, you are wasting your time there. But I think that that was not actually a time waste, because it is having some functions, it is serving some functions, it is helping us like developing the stamina and developing the immunity, building our body, interacting with the people, learning skills and whatnot. It is not entirely a time waste. It is an interaction with the real world, with not the screen, right? But here, what we are doing is utter waste of time if we are doom scrolling, right? It is a waste of energy, isn't it? It is. It is a waste of energy, like mental energy. Suppose if you have scrolled the phone, the Instagram for 30 minutes, then you lose interest in the real stuff. Your mind is like exhausted, your mental energy is exhausted. You have given so much of pressure to your mind. You know, a mind is like it's consuming, analyzing, grasping, digesting, varying content, you know, changing content with changing themes, emotions frequently every 30 seconds. So what you are doing with your mind, right? So it is not AI, it is a human mind after all. So this is the second thing, and it is also a loss of money. Now you can tell me like, how is it a loss of money when we are given the internet for barely 300 rupees a month, and you get the free Wi-Fi's, and thanks to the Ambani, Reliance, Jio, the revolution that they have brought. So you might ask that how come it becomes the waste of time? Sorry, the waste of money. Then analyze someday. Sit with the pen in the hand, in the copy, and analyze that the time that you have wasted there is scrolling the reels. Couldn't you use that time in improving or honing your skills? If you are in business, the business skills. If you are into IT and software, those skills. If you are a student, then studying the things. If you are into athletics, sports, whatever, so those things. So could you not use? I mean, we all should be into the finance management, finance learning, and making money, investing money. We all should be into that, no matter how little we are earning, right? And this was something good that happened after COVID, that people got this consciousness about the stock market investing and all. And people installed the applications like Zero the Kite, and there came Grow, and some other platforms which would actually tell you to invest your money. And that was something good. We all, like, should we all, it is eventually, after all, the money which is not only running the economy, the nation, but the society and our lives as well. It determines your status, your class, I mean, your family, your livelihood runs on money. It is a fuel that you want, it is very important. What you are doing is that you are compromising with the earning, with the income. If you are addicted to the real culture, because you are wasting the time, and had you not done that, you would have used that time in something productive, constructive, which would eventually generate the money for you, or at least would make you capable, competent enough to generate the money, so this is the another thing. Okay, so fifth point that I would be talking you about is that we would be examining the relations, like when we do some research sort of things, no, we try to understand the relation between two variables, between two things. So if we are to uh, study the relation of this thing, like Instagram real culture, with the physical health, and we'll get to know that it has inverse relation with the physical health. Like this is based on not survey but my personal observation. The people who are addicted to the scrolling have lesser chances to be fit. Fitness demands something from you. Fitness comes from the investment in your body and mind. Fitness comes from discipline. Sports teaches you discipline. You'll have to wake up early in the morning, go to the jogging, walking, or gym, do some workout, burn some calories, gain some muscles, lift some weight. That takes immense discipline, that demands immense discipline, right? Determination, commitment to something productive, to something good, you know. And the people who are lost, who spends excessive time on Instagram, they are very less likely to be devoted to something as fruitful, constructive as the physical health. I mean, fitness activities, exercising, gym, and all. You notice, like, you can notice around yourself, and you can notice, like, within yourself. Talking about me personally, earlier when I didn't use Instagram, I was into workout. I would go for running, jogging, and I would make push ups, pull ups in my home only. And now with the Instagram, at times it happen like I'm waking up scrolling, I'm waking up sleeping, before sleeping I'm scrolling. Before that, what used to happen, that after waking up, right after waking up, I would go to the toilet, and after coming from there I would make push-ups, do some stretching and all. And before sleeping as well, I would do the same. So these physical activities now got replaced by the Instagram, right? And this is not something particularly about me, it is about others as well. And this is becoming a big problem because it is impacting everybody. So basically it has got a inverse relation with the physical health. Also the doom scrolling, the Instagram addiction has got an inverse relation with your mental health. Mental health, because it would lead to the anxiety, as I told you. I would again reiterate it, that it leaves you with not satisfaction, not happiness, joy, bliss, but with the guilt, with the dissatisfaction, disappointment, anxiety, stress, tension, and whatnot. So it is a fact. It is a fact, and it is like how it impacts your mental health, right? And it also impacts your emotional health. So it has got an inverse relationship with your emotional health as well. For an instance, you would feel that, oh, like you are happy, you are laughing, and that all, you'll find yourself surrounded by the good emotions for a second. But this is delusional, like this is a delusion, right? The studies have found that when the children, when the kids, like they are immersed into the YouTube shorts or Instagram or whatnot, and if the phone is taken away from them, then they become agitated, irritated, start crying or like abusing their parents and who not. uh, the studies have been done on the young people as well, that their behavior is significantly impacted if they are consuming the content, short form content on the Instagram and all. So like it has got an inverse relationship with both the mental and emotional health. Now you will become a victim to the, you will be impacted by the negative emotions like anger, frustration, irritation if you are consuming this a lot. And it has inverse relation with your social health as well. Social health is how well do you interact, socialize with the people, are you socializing with the people or not. So if you are very much addicted to the Instagram and scrolling and all, then it is going to impact your social life as well. In my previous video I told you I went to a friend quite recently. He's a dear a childhood friend of mine. So I went to his home, newly built home, and his mother was there. We were talking. He was also there, eating the dinner with the television right there on the wall, front wall, and he was neither talking to me nor to his mother, and nor watching the television. He was into the scrolling while he is like eating the food. He's into the scrolling. He's not like oh Garvit, you have come here for after such a long time, how's it going and things like that. No, he is scrolling. So these are some minute observations that we should have in order to conclude that how it impacts our social health as well, apart from or along with the mental emotional health as well. And I also told you like how does it impact the financial and economic health as well, because mm, it takes you, it takes away from you the opportunities to generate more finances, more income, right? So next point is that it has an inverse relationship relation with your work and relations at home and workplace. I told you like pretty conspicuously, pretty obviously, it has inverse relation with your work, whatever work you are doing, right? Work is very necessary. It keeps a person going, it keeps a person sane, it gives the person the much required social status, respect, prestige. It gives you the money which is the fuel um, to live. It is very important. And when you are not working and you are doing something else, then you are compromising with these all the things which will at the end of the day impact you, right? For example, there is this seller, the vegetable seller in front of me. You can see the cart. I wish you can. Yeah, so he's selling the vegetable. He is selling the vegetable, right? This is his work, right? At times what happens is that he is dedicated to his work and he is not introduced, I guess, with the Instagram and all. But sometimes what happens is that when we go to the shops to buy anything, we find the owner or the workers there immersed into the mobile phones at the cost of their customers and their work, is what happening these days. So it has a negative relationship with your relation with your work, be you in the office, be you some in some corporate, in some business, in some other profession, doctor, teacher, professor, whatever. It does compromise with your work, and it also sort of damages the relations in the workplace with the colleagues and also in the family. Like if you aren't interacting, talking, communicating, intermingling with the family members, then of course the bonds will weaken. You know, they would have assumptions about you. They would also stop talking to you, uh, and things like that. And same happens when you are there in your workplace, right? The relations with your boss, with your colleagues, they will deteriorate. So it has got, this addiction has got inverse relation with both the things, right? Now there is a difference that I think you must know between the short form content and the long form content, right? Which is very necessary. So the problem with the Instagram is that you are consuming the short form content. The short form content is of no use because you cannot retain it, right? So what is happening is that you are flooded, you are bombarded with the reels last for 30 seconds, you are using it for say 1 hour, so you have watched say 60 reels, right? Now these 60 reels are not from like just one page or say one channel. These reels are from, like, they are appearing there randomly as per the algorithms, they are of multiple types. So you will not be able to retain them at the end of the day. The next day, if you get to ask yourself which were the reels that I watched, will you be able to remember? No, you won't be able to remember. What is the use of that 1 hour? Just a sense, false sense, a delusion of happiness and joy. Couldn't you get that joy and happiness going out on a trip, or say in the garden or the park beside you in some architectural heritage place, temple, or where not, with your family members, with your dear friends? Couldn't you use that time improving your personal skills, giving time to your work, doing part time, earning more money? Is a question to ask. This is the problem with the short form content. It is a sheer waste of time. It is the mental fuck up. When your mind is exposed to the changing content with every minute, then it also gets fucked up. It is like baskar bhai, that's enough. I mean, this is something which is real. The good thing with the long form content, the traditionally being the books. Earlier there used to be a quote which is still there. The books, people would say that books are my best friends. Books are like the treasure trove. And the big people, the millionaires, billionaires, if you ask them, then they would tell you that they would read a book a week. They will carry the books in their cars. I mean, they have never given up reading. And this is the traditional conventional form of uh, long form content which is taking a back seat today. Ask yourself, ask your friends, observe that uh, how many books have they read in the past 1 month or a year, be them the novels, the fiction, or the non-fiction. Don't you feel like, analyze yourself? Don't you think that since the Instagram entered in your life, the good habit of reading the book has taken a back seat? Is it or not? So this is the impact of the short form content on the long form content. So book reading was one, right? Another was watching the movies, the documentaries. Watching the podcast is a modern form of long form content, like as I make, and I get views in barely in uh, rarely in like 3 digits. Mostly it is in 2 digit only. And a lot of people ask me, why don't you promote them, make them in a good way? Why don't you make the short form contents? And I tell them, no, I'm not eager. Rarely have I said like, share, subscribe in any of my videos. I'm not eager to, attract the masses. Masses are into the cringe content. The cringiest is the reel or the short. More are the likes and the views over that. More the people talk about that person. Good content has very few select viewers only, and it is a fact. And mostly I do it out of my self consciousness and duty. Rest is up to you whether to watch it or not. You getting my point? And this is a sort of diary writing or journaling, that earlier I was into diary writing. So if I were to write about this thing in my diary, then it would be available only to me. in case if I read it in the future. But with this thing, with the YouTube live, what I'm doing is that I'm writing the diary which is available for the public. So the content there can be useful for the broader, the wider audience or the viewers, and would remain there, preserved in the digital format for eternity. I might lose my diary. I might have a pickle spilled on my diary and damage it. So yeah, these are some other aspects. So what I was basically saying is that this is basically the difference between the short form and the long form content. So short form content leads to the brain rot, and the long form content leads to the brain enrichment. Right? If you have read a book, it would of course take 2 days, 3 days, or a week, depending upon your capacity and the size of the book. But ultimately, the content, the essence will remain with you. Ultimately, you will gain something. If nothing, then at least you will improve your language, your English, because in India, people have got this obsession with the English. So, I also read some good amount of books in my life, and a lot of people ask me that you speak fairly well. How come so? So I give the credit to this good habit of book reading, which is no more there, but I used to read at one point of time. Second thing is that, like second form of long form content, it is a unique form of content, neither a long nor a short. The newspaper reading, you know. So just analyze, observe, ask yourself, do you read the newspaper? Do people around us read the newspaper? Newspaper reading is very essential. It's very important. Being an aware citizen, what's happening around us. The irony is that we get to know about the major incidents happening on the global, international, or national, or state, or even local level from the Instagram posts. And on Instagram, you can see just the headline, not much. So, like, even the newspapers are losing their relevance. They are losing their relevance. They're not uh, read anymore. I mean, rarely do people read them. This is something very troubling for the society. Like, you take the example, like, there's a person who doesn't read the newspaper and consumes the short form content in the form of the Instagram reels and all for half an hour. And then there is this person who reads the newspaper for half an hour. Who will feel happier after a month? Who will feel happier? Like, if you were to look at it from a third person perspective, who has done something productive and constructive? No, of course, the one who's reading the newspaper. But no, we are not reading the newspaper. We do not. Not in the physical format, not on the phone, and nor do we watch the news. Actually, when we are talking about the news, we'll have to say that the news these days have become like it's sickening. It's sickening because the news channels, the the profiles, I mean, on the Instagram, the major news media industries, they put, I mean, very absurd news there. I mean, most absurd. I mean, is there some sort of competition happening between the news channels? Like, who would post the most absurd, rubbish, and cringe news? If you have been to Instagram and noticed this thing, the news they are posting are not news at all, but they are doing that. So this was basically the difference between the short form content and the long form content. You know, what you are doing with the uh, when you are into the uh, what do we call it, the Instagram reels, that you are compromising with the long form content, which is very essential to develop your personality, your mind. This is it. Another aspect is that what basically happens, if you have ever realized, with the Instagram reels, you will feel bad. You will pick up the phone, you will start watching the reels, scrolling there. You will get a sense of happiness for a second or a minute. But after that, when you put the phone, you will feel anxiety. You will feel the anxiety, right? Because you know that there is a lot of important work piled up, or there is a lot of potential work, important work that you have compromised on, you know. So you watch the reels at cost of these two important things, so it would lead to the anxiety, right? And more the anxiety, the more the escapist you become. And when you become the escapist, you will escape from the real life duties, real life responsibilities, real life passion, the real life interactions, you know, the real society, and you will again pick the phone and start watching the reels, and you will feel sense of happiness, false sense of joy because of the dopamine released. And this is how you are burning your dopamine, and this is how this loop gets created, which we can call the vicious cycle. Here comes the Instagram, then it leads to the dopamine release or dopamine burning, right? Which further leads to anxiety leads to escapism, and then you try to escape from the society and again pick up the phone. So there gets created this vicious cycle, or the dangerous loop that we should be knowing about, right? And there is another thing attached with this, which is a fact that we all know that it is something very bad. It is impacting our lives badly. It is not good, but we are unable to get over it. There are people who uninstall the Instagram only to install it another day. There are people who have deactivated only to activate it after a couple of days. What sort of addiction it is? You must have interacted with such people in your friend circle. So we know that it is a sort of paradox, it is quite an irony. We know the entire problem, what is the problem, but we just cannot get over it. And what is the solution? Wait, like we would be talking about the solution as well. Another thing is that here I would be establishing a sort of relation between this doom scrolling culture which is developing, and with the nation. How is it a national problem? How is it a national loss? Right? In order to develop a robust, a developed, a Sashakt nation, as our Honorable Prime Minister says, we need Sashakt workforce, right? We need the workforce. Workforce mainly come from the youngsters, the youth, and our youth is wasting the time, precious time, energy in the Instagram at the cost of the skills, personal development. Then is it not leading to the national loss? It is actually leading to the national loss, and thus it is becoming a national problem. It is becoming a national problem. Similarly, it is a societal loss as well. Like it is a societal loss. Society has seen the social values, the moral values, social bonds, right? The social cohesion, integrity that has seen a downfall, a decline with the Instagram, the real culture, and with the content creators who post cringe content on it. For example, there came TikTok. It was banned, fortunately, by the government during COVID, and soon after came apna Instagram, which has replaced the TikTok. But all those TikTokers who used to post cringe content, who used to post the nudity, obscenity, and whatnot on TikTok came here, invaded the Instagram, and have garnered followers in large numbers. So what is happening is that particularly it is particularly about the girls. I'm not a like misogynist, and I am to some extent a feminist. Let me clarify you this thing very clearly. What I am observing, and you must have observed that people, the girls, they are actually selling their bodies, their their body. What they are doing is they are leading to they are paving the way for the self objectification. Earlier it used to happen is that the There is a fault in the eyes of the guy, in the eyes of the society, who are objectifying, sexualizing, harassing, molesting, and making stereotypes, prejudices about the women even when they are dressed well. Right now, what is happening is that the girls themselves are portraying themselves as the objects, they are objectifying their bodies, showcasing, showing off their bodies, body parts, making very obscene moves, producing very obscene and cringe content, and thus garnering the followers and the viewers. And this would make them the influencer, the stars, and after that they would become famous, what they are basically aspiring to be. And in the process they would also gain the uh, sponsorships, right? Advertisements. So they would become the influencers, and then they would go on earning the money as well out of that. Then now this is one thing that you must have observed here on Instagram. You watch it or not, sometimes your those search field, search that search bar is flooded with such obscene content, which is very hard, especially for the boys, to not look at, you know. And once they have opened one reel, they would be flooded with the similar reels, similar content. And this obscene and cringe content forms a large chunk of the content available on the Instagram. I agree, like there is good content as well, but they are displaying, the people are displaying, or the Instagram is displaying sort of a soft porn on the Instagram, which is a fact. This is one thing. And second thing is that why did I say that it has led to the weakening of the societal bonds? It is posing a threat to the structure of the society, to the institutions of the society, such as marriage, such as family. Is that with the Instagram has become like these things, these words common. You must have heard about body count. What is this body count? So you might see people asking girls on the streets in Mumbai or some other metropolitan cities, what is your body count? What should be your body count? Earlier, even I was amazed, man, what the fuck is body count? Then I used to got to know about it. I got to know about it. Body count basically means that how many guys a girl has, been in relationship with, to put it euphemistically, or has slept with, to put it bluntly, is what the body count is. And the girls feel no shame like giving their body count, which is no zero. And sometimes if their body count is zero, if they are virgin, they would feel they are not part of this culture, the society, the cool culture, if they are not in relationship and all. So these things are becoming normalized because of the Instagram, the sort of content that we are exposed to. These are some changes that we are observing in the society. I mean, women empowerment is a good thing. Gender and equality is something which is really good. Women should be allowed to enter into the workforce, given all the rights that the guys are having, but they should not actually misuse the sort of power that they have in terms of their beauty and all. We know that we live in a patriarchal society, coming to the society, not only Indian society but all the societies. When it comes to the man, then how well does he earn, you know, does matter. When it comes to the man, his physical strength and his financial health matters a lot. When it comes to women, then their beauty matters. I mean, this is not right, of course, but this is what it is to a large extent. But women are able to do a lot of other things as well. We have seen in the like Sindoor that India launched on Pakistan after the Pahalgam attack. Women are entering into the workforce. We are seeing the women entering into the business and all. So women, I mean, have the capability, have the potential to do great things in great spheres of life. But what they are doing here on the Instagram is selling their bodies. I mean, which is not something really great. You're not using your potential to the full extent. You're leading to the self objectification. So this is something which is concerning society. And there is another thing that we all should be knowing about, which is there's a difference between the when we talk about the Instagram. When we talk about the Instagram, this is a different point. Then there is a difference between there are two types of people who exist on Instagram. One is the content creator, and another one is the content consumer. Most of the people, almost all of the people, are content consumers. Like does comes the views, the likes in millions on the posts, sometimes even when they are not good. So creators are like very few nowadays. Like people are becoming the creators, but still, because of the social anxiety, because of the social conformity, because of the privacy, because of the lack of confidence, because of the introvert nature, because of the fear of the family members and all. And because of these things, many of the people do not become the content creators, even if they have some urges to become in their mind, but they suppress them, right? So on the one hand we have got content on the one hand we have got content on the one hand we have got content creators, all right, content creators who are producing the content, and they vary in types. Some produce comedy contents, right, and some produce cringe contents. Some actually just show off their body, some show off their cars and whatnot, money and whatnot. If people are skilled singing, dancing, then they show off uh, their talent, right? And even the business people into the business, or be them in any profession. Suppose if somebody is a doctor, has a clinic or a hospital, right? So he or she would want to become famous, popular, to get the reach to the masses who are the potential uh, customers. So they also get on the social media platform in order to promote their profession, right? So thus, like, there are people coming there on the social media platforms from various fields. Broadly, what I'm saying is that there are two categories of people: one, the content creator; secondly, the content consumer. Now, bluntly, I would like to state that if you are a content creator, a dedicated content creator, you could be either successful already, having followers in tens of thousands, or you have the consistency, passion, determination that you can become one in a year or two. Then it is good for you. It is good for you because you are producing the content which would eventually give you not only the fame but also the money, which would eventually become your business. But if you are the content consumer, then you are the most stupidest person alive on earth. I mean, that is an exaggeration, of course. Uh, Pardon me. If we are just the content consumers, then actually we are very stupid people. What we are doing, I mean, the person who's making the reel is actually earning the money, will get the advertisements or sponsorships and whatnot. uh, or there might be some other ways to earn the money and whatnot. So he is done, like that is his business, his profession. But are we so very unemployed? Are we so nulla? Are we literally so focused that we would keep on consuming his content only to become depressed after some time? Is the question that we'll have to ask yourself, which category do you fall in? Either you are a content creator. If you are one, then kudos, that is something great. If you are a consumer, then there is no use to waste the time on the Instagram. If you are a content creator, then if you are a content creator and you are like spending time on Instagram promoting your reels, making content, and posting it there, then it is good because you are a creator. But most of the people, for the reasons I delineated to you, do not become the creators and instead become the consumers. And it is this category of people who suffer the most. Who suffer the most. This is another thing. This is like the creator and consumer paradox. Not the paradox, but the differentiation. We will have to differentiate between the two. Now, now, there is one more thing. As I was calling names to the people who are the consumers, there is one pros. There is one pro. Something good about the Instagram is that it allows you to preserve your memories in terms of the photos or videos for eternity. Suppose if you have formed your account there and you are visiting some places, there is some good occasion, some exceptional moment in your life, you have captured the photo, you just put there and archive them. If you do not want them to be shown to other people, you just archive them, right? You put on the story and archive the stories, right? Or another thing could be, have no person following you. Have no person following you. These are some tricks, techniques, tips which are seldom applied by the people. So in this way, what would happen is that you are preserving the memories there in the digital format, which are better than the जो हमारा traditional albums, right? The photos in the traditional albums, because water may spill over them, we might lose them, they might get lost. So this is a great way. So if you have that much of Sayam, which is self restraint on you, that you would be using the Instagram only to post photos there, archive them in order to have the memories preserved, then that is okay. Then that is okay. This is some good use of Instagram, right? Another thing is that people say that we are there to promote our business. I mean, the people who are into business, runs shops and all, say that Instagram can be a platform which can provide us an impetus or boost, to expand our business, the reach to the people. So what I'm basically saying is that earn enough of money. Oh my god, the battery is low. Earn enough of money in order to hire the people. These days, there are n number of content creators who are producing the content and looking for the people to give them 500 rupees or so, and they will make the videos for you. They'll come to your hotel, your restaurant, your shop, textile shop and whatnot. They'll make fantastic videos for you, and they'll post you on their groups which have subscribers or followers in thousands and thousands. Or you can create your own page. So what I'm basically saying is that excel in your own field. If you're a businessman, excel in your business. Like, you don't have to care about promoting your business yourself on Instagram. Earn enough of money you can hire these content creators, that who upon getting some money will make excellent videos for you. Think for an example, does Ambani, Tatas, they get bothered about making the content? Do the BJP get bothered about making content themselves, the MLAs, the people holding the posts, MPs and all? No, they hire the people, they outsource it, and enough of money so as to outsource it. If you yourself can come there with the self restraint, then okay, it is good. Like some people, like Ashneer Grover and some other people have come themselves, you know, So if you have that self constraint that you will make a video, you'll post it, then you will put your phone fucking aside, then it is okay. It is excellent. Go for it. But but you should not be wasting your time on Instagram when you are not working well in your business actually. So this is something which is really very very important. And talking about the news, many people say that they watch it because they can get the news there. So if you really have used Instagram and subscribed to the news channels, then you'll get to know that 90% of the news are rubbish, are totally rubbish. And almost from all the prestigious reputed news channels, I can never imagine like these channels, these media houses can produce so cringe the news. If some celebrity is wearing some particular clothes, they will post the news. If somebody has got married or something, they will post the news. So they've got like no substantial thing to bring forth. Lullan Top, unfiltered by Amish. And there is a new channel which has recently come up. There is a girl, I don't know her name, who goes to the underprivileged colonies and habitations and show the problem of the people. So they are doing great. I mean, these channels are doing great. They produce long form content, so watch them instead of watching the news over here on Instagram. You can read the newspaper, you can install the channels, you install the applications, and watch news there, right? So like this was something which is very problematic, and thus I thought like we should be talking about it. As I've already told you, this is a national problem, this is a societal problem, and of course it is a personal problem since it is existing in many people of all the age groups. Again, reiterate, thus it becomes a national and a social problem. There should be discourses around that. We all should be coming out. We all should be speaking out loud of what we have gone through, what we have suffered, and we should be making a resolution coming out in the public that no, we will not use it excessively. What could be the solution? The only solution could be to put it aside, to delete the application. I've got many of friends of mine who are in services, like who cracked the UPSC CSE examinations. One of the observation that I had there is, before they cracked the examination, they were not there on Instagram, or maybe they had only the profile there, but they were not active at all. They were totally into the studies and preparation, and they gave their best there. And once they have actually cracked the examination, they have come there to showcase their life, to show off their lavish lifestyle. They are visiting the places and all. I do not have any problem with that, but this is something that we can learn. When you are up to some goal, some aim, some objective in your life, then dedicate yourself completely to it. It should be something productive and constructive. If you are establishing some business, some startup, earning money, cracking some examination, JE or something, and once you have done that, then you can install the or use the Instagram, and then also very uh, cautiously, right? Very cautiously, because when I talk to some of my friends who are in services, they are serving, right, holding big positions, but still they tell me like, Garvit, even we ourselves find ourselves somewhat addicted to this platform. Such are the algorithms. So one solution could be to just delete the application. Second solution could be use it in a very restricted and limited manner. Like there comes some feature that once you have used Instagram for 15 minutes, then you will get a pop-up notification that you have breached your limit and you'll have to put it off. But again, I think that it has a loophole that you cancel that notification, that pop-up which comes up on your phone after using the Instagram for a particular period of time, say 15 minutes. So it also has got loophole. So the one solution that I see is that delete it completely. If you are a consumer, only a consumer, delete the application. Or what you can do is if you are there, to use it very pragmatically, practically, in order to preserve the memories. As I told you, photos can, you can lose the photos you from your phone, from your media. There might not be enough of space on your drive. So make sure that you don't have many uh, people who you are following, and you have no followers or very few followers. And so that, not much content appears there in your feed, and you use the Instagram only to post the photos, preserve the memories, and that is all. You put the photos there and they are uploaded there, and you'll turn it off. This is second thing, which I don't think is very practical, until unless you are extremely like self restrained. And so does I recommend the first option, which is like uninstalling the application, first of all. Second is like deleting it. Deactivating is also something which works. And yeah, this is something. Another observation that I didn't talk about is that what happens is that what happens is that on the Instagram we post about very silly, very mundane things happening to us in our life. For example, like there is a tree in front of me. It is a beautiful tree, right? What I'll do is, yeah, here it is. Now, what I'll do is that with the iPhones in our hands, now we all have got iPhones, right? We all have got iPhones with a wonderful camera. Whatever the mundane, silly thing that we see, we start clicking it and posting on the Instagram, and then we'll see that how many people have seen it, given their likes, and then we'll think before uploading also we will edit it, we'll make it look good and all, which we will think like how the people will think about us. I am what you think I am. समझ रहे हो? I am what you think I think you think I am. Sort of that. I'm unable to put the words articulately, but I hope you are getting my point. So people judge themselves based on the assumptions they are having about how the other people will judge them. you know so thus in the process we waste a lot of time, or we go on commenting foolishly. Like there was a case recently, a very unfortunate case that I made a long video on, which you must watch, taking a societal perspective on the Sonam Raghuvanshi on the honeymoon murder case, right? So there was this girl who was a relative or the sister of Raj Raghuvanshi, the guy who was murdered by the bride. And that girl, since she was an influencer on the Instagram, a content creator, she started posting the video limelight, gets into the limelight, and with her actually the case actually got a hike and became a national news all over. And thus, like, we see how the body was retrieved and the plan was busted. Now the people started infiltrating her feed, her post, that girl who is an influencer, and saying that you are making money, you are earning the views on the death of your brother, your brother has died. Have you no shame? Do you have no shame that you are making money on his death, upon his death, and things like that? So people, like, what we do, we are also part of that group. We unnecessarily put the comments there, as if like our comments, or if something else happen of some social relevance, as if our comments or views like would reach to the people sitting in the ministry, in the department, and all. So we unnecessarily, if some girl has come there with a very hot and gorgeous look, or even obscene look, you can see the people commenting there in the comment box, as if the girl would agree to becoming his girlfriend and whatnot. There are sex workers, prostitutes coming there with their numbers and all, for the digital services and whatnot. I mean, this is all very disturbing. I mean, very stupid, which is happening there on the Instagram. So one thing is like delete it, deactivate it, or as I suggested, you use it with self restraint. Another thing is devote yourself to something very productive and constructive. Make a strict, rigid schedule in your life, daily routine. Wake up and be determined that just after waking up, I'll go to the toilet. Coming from here, would go on running, like go on jogging, and I'll do some exercise, and then I'll get to my work, which I would be doing dedicatedly, and without using the phone applications and all. Find a goal in your life. Find something which is constructive. So I yeah. So there was a loss of connection. I lost the connection with the Wi-Fi. I've connected it to other Wi-Fi. So yeah, this is what I was saying in order to sum it up, that it is a big problem that we all are suffering from, and we'll have to acknowledge it, and we'll have to get over it as soon as possible, right? With this, Garvit Jain signing off. Jai Hind.